everybody? How's it going? Happy Saturday night to each and every one of you mother Canuckers out there. And if you're not from Canada, then it doesn't apply to you. Joining me on this edition of Open Mic, this completely sporadic edition of Open Mic because we had nothing better to do with our Saturday nights. It's Tommy B from out in Baltimore, Maryland land. What's going on, man?
Oh, no. I am not from Baltimore, Maryland. Do not give them
I said
confusion.
out there. Didn't say you were from, said you were out there. Serial killer Tom.
It's not going to go away, is it?
Nope.
Is it?
It's sticking, man. Those glasses freak the fuck out of me.
Hey, I'm hanging in there.
Find your words, dude.
I have a few other things I should be doing right now, but I decided there was nowhere else I'd rather be than streaming live here on the Fandom Empire YouTube.
You, sir, need to just let loose and let all of our lovely fandom see the real you. I sense some nerves over on your end right now, and I'm not sure why, because you're the guy that'll randomly scream out of nowhere when something doesn't happen that he doesn't like. I guess I'll just go fuck myself then. Is that okay, Sage?
No, it's not okay.
You just let everybody know how you like. The one comment I've gotten a lot on some of the videos lately that you've been on is your dude's really quiet and reserved, and it's like only if you knew the real him, the dick that he actually is. Okay, maybe dick is too hard of a word. I'm the dick, but
holy shit, I'm a dick now. I thought we were just having a conversation today, and I was trying to get across the message that I try to be a genuinely nice person. What the fuck?
Oh, God, I've done it again. 1 second. Actually, you know what? I got the terrible lighting going. I have to get used to coming down here, turning off the shit lights, and turning on the good lights, and I did not do that. So we're just going to stick with the bad lighting for this one. How is everybody's Saturday night going? If you're sitting here listening to us, either you're a super dedicated fan or you don't have a lot going on right now if you're watching live, which I don't. The wife and the kiddo is up at the cottage, and, Tommy B's killing people and hiding them in his basement. No, I'm kidding. I'm just... He's like, how dare you say it? Are you?
I don't want no FBI, CIA, all them 3-letter acronyms coming knocking on my door. I don't want none of that.
Yeah, maybe they do need to look into you, dude. Maybe they do. Got to roll up my sleeves here as we get down to business. So this is what we got scheduled for this episode of Open Mic. First, the most important things, we're going to get to your thoughts, your questions. It's Open Mic for a reason. And we're going to talk about what you guys want to talk about. We're also going to talk about what we want to talk about, which on tonight's episode, we're going to talk some Supernatural. So if you're into Supernatural, kick back and enjoy the discussion, because Tommy and I are going to bring up some of our favorite episodes in no order. This is not a countdown episode. That's for a future video. We're just going to bring up some of our favorite episodes and favorite seasons, and maybe some of our least favorite episodes. We're also going to dive into Halloween 5 a little bit. This guy here on the right-hand side of your screen just watched Halloween 5 for the first time today. R.I.P. Tommy, because it's fucking brutal, in my opinion anyway. And then we got some Star Wars stuff to get to that we dropped a video on a little earlier this week. But again, we'll get to your questions. At any point during this show, if you want to interrupt the chat, feel free to send in a super chat. Oh, God, he did it again. He mentioned super chats. Damn him. No, if you guys want to send in a super chat during the show, that's great. That'd be awesome. Anything that you guys send in goes right back into the channel. And some of the money that has come in so far is actually going to go to a unique little treat for our Halloween fans coming up. So keep an eye out for that. I don't want to put a date on it because then if the date doesn't get hit, everyone's going to be, well, you said it would be this date, just like the Halloween Kills mask unboxing. Some things are beyond our control, but like I said, every red little penny, even though they're worthless now, that comes into this channel via you guys, via Super Chats or the PayPal donations or Patreon, goes right back into the channel. And so, yeah, at any point, if you want to send in a Super Chat, interrupt the show and we'll get to your Super Chats. Otherwise, kick back, relax, enjoy the discussion, and we'll get to the chat here and there. And then, obviously, it's open mic, so we'll end with all your thoughts. On open mic, though, we do try to get involved with the chat a little more than, say, Fandom Empire Live. Wow. Dude, you told me you were watching Halloween 5. We're going to start with Halloween, then we'll make our way into Supernatural. You told me you were watching Halloween 5 today. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Did you watch 4 and 5 today, or was it just 5?
You're correct. I watched 4 and 5 today. I will add, though, that very early on in the movie, I did realize that I have seen 4 in the past.
But you had almost virtually no memory of it other than the scene in the convenience store.
Correct. I don't know if I had seen the whole movie. I think I did. But, it was probably one of those, like, you're half paying attention sort of things. You're not super invested.
I just want to let everybody know that's messaging the chat right now, if you're sending in Super Chats today or even just normal chatting, guys, the chat seems to be lagging on my end. Like, literally, I just had a bunch of messages come up out of nowhere, and there's no way you guys sent those all at the same time. So, again, as Super Chats come in, we will get to them. If I miss any, I think Frank and Toronto Freddy are here. Just send me a DM on Facebook, guys, and we'll get to that. But again, we'll get to normal messages too. But the chat does seem to be lagging a bit, so hopefully we will be able to work our way around that. Art, save that question, man. If I don't get to it and I forget it, send it in again, because it's an excellent question involving Supernatural. So we're in the unique position today, tonight, dude, of not just you, the audience. One thing as Halloween fans we don't get to experience much is someone seeing older Halloween movies for the first time. So even though you're saying you had seen Halloween 4 before, I'm going to treat this as if you haven't, because you really only remembered, a meaningless scene in a convenience store. You've seen Halloween 4 and you've seen Halloween 5 today. They're both fresh. And they're certainly not certified fresh. At least number 5 isn't. Which of the two did you like better and why?
It was definitely 5.
I'm sorry, what?
It's now my new favorite Halloween movie.
All right. Well, on that note, goodbye, Tommy B. This has become the Shawn show, and fuck that. No, I'm kidding. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion.
No, it's a wrong opinion. I don't care if everyone's entitled to their own opinion. Number 5. Now I guess I've seen the majority of the films now. Is all the way at the bottom for me of all the ones I've seen so far. For real.
Yeah, Halloween 5 is horrible. My cousin, and if he's watching, he's probably not going to be happy with this because he's actually one guy that likes Halloween 5. We did 2 fan films back in the when were they? I guess that would have been around the time Zombies movies came out. We did 2 Halloween fan films, and they're based off of sequels of 5, so it's as if 6 never existed, and his 2 fan films pick up from 5. And I never really understood why he did that, because I think Halloween 5 is a complete shit show, and just is like, I seen Toronto Freddy bring up in the chat. Toronto Freddy, by the way, sponsor of the channel. I know he doesn't necessarily sponsor Open Mic or the video updates. He's a sponsor of Fandom Empire Live specifically, but he does a lot for this channel, and wanted to give him a shout out. Toronto Freddy is the man and mod in the chat. Him and Frankie keeping it real in our chat here. Look, I don't like Halloween 5. I seen Toronto Freddy mention it. Are we really supposed to believe that just shit show of a mask is the same mask from Halloween? I mean, people go on about the Halloween 4 mask being and I still think the Halloween 4 mask's actually okay in some lighting. In other lighting, not so much. But the mask in Halloween 5, good God, I think I'd fucking rather eat a big bowl of fucking shit. It's terrible. Like, come on, dude. You're telling me you just seen the movies back to back today. Are you telling me you are buying the fact that's supposed to be the same mask?
No, not really.
He ain't buying it. Well, geez, you just sound bummed talking about it. Is the mask just bumming you that much?
No, the whole movie bummed me that much, for real.
I'll say this. I'll say this for Tommy, okay? He's watching the Halloween movies for the first time. He's definitely our Star Wars guy here at the channel, and gaming guy to an extent. He's everything but Halloween, okay? Because he's our supernatural guy too. And he's seeing Halloween movies for the first time. So he's seen Halloween 1, Halloween 2, Halloween 4, Halloween 2018. Frank says he sent in a super chat. We will, and there's another one. We'll get to the super chats in 1 second, guys. Yeah, Frank, you're definitely going to want to send me messages whenever super chats come in. I didn't get any notification about that whatsoever. So, dude, like, you've been telling me how much you've been enjoying the series. Like, you, the guy who said you probably aren't going to buy a Supernatural box set, was asking me if there was a Halloween box set today. And then you see Halloween 5, and it sounds like the movie just took the wind out of your sails.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know how many hardcore Star Wars fans we got in the chat, but 4 to 5 really felt like Force Awakens to Last Jedi moment for me.
Here comes the Last Jedi hate.
There was so much built up for that could have been just prepared. It was basically tied with a nice silver bow and what have you. And they just took a shit on it. Like, for real.
So a lot of people don't understand the direction of Halloween 5. And even after reading that wonderful book, which, hang on, let's see if I make sure I point right here, Taking Shape, which Dustin McNeil and Travis Mullins just knocked it out of the park. It's the best Halloween literature I've ever written. I didn't write it. If you have a chance to pick up that book, guys, pick it up. It's worth every penny. If you're a diehard Halloween fan and you have not bought that book, whether it's, physical form or digital or even the audio, I think they just did an audiobook of it, you're missing out. It's a must-own for Halloween fans. And even reading the making of Halloween 5 through that book and seeing videos on the making of Halloween 5, you get where they went wrong to an extent, but to go as wrong as they did, like, they didn't even have a plan for the Man in Black. They basically just had him walking around because it looked cool, because it was a cool idea. Yeah, I'm doing finger quotations. And just like,
honestly, the way it was filmed and what I picked up from it based on the way the scenes cut, I was thinking the Man in Black was actually Loomis briefly.
You thought it was Loomis?
I eventually caught on that it wasn't. It's just the way the scenes cut. They cut from the Man in Black. It's
Loomis's twin brother, Woomis. No, not buying it. I mean, you didn't know, right? And you wouldn't find out for another 6 fucking years. Because 5 did that much damage. And then the making of 6 was even worse, even though I think the finished product of 6, whether it's the theatrical version or the producer's cut, is a lot better. We'll save 6 for another day. I mean, this is what happens when you rush movies out, people. They originally wanted the guys that did 4 to come back for 5. The problem was the guys that did 4 were unavailable to do 5 immediately. And, rest in peace, Mustafa Akkad, he didn't want to take the time, and they rushed another movie into production without really properly thinking it through, and it just ended up one big steaming pile of shit. It's, I feel bad for you, dude, because I remember, we video chatted after you watched that movie, and I could just tell after how excited you were for the previous movies, which, to be honest, I was a little stunned. I wasn't sure how you'd take the Halloween content. You looked bummed. You looked like somebody ran over your dog. That's how bad Halloween 5 is, people. It looked like someone ran over Thomas's dog. Think about that. Thomas doesn't even have a dog.
Real graphic, real quick. Anyway, we got super chats to get to.
Yeah, and we will. I want your thoughts here. Come on, Mr. Quiet, open up a bit. Is it fair to say, out of all the ones you've seen so far, this isn't just the worst one, this is the worst one by some bit out of the ones you've seen so far?
Oh, yeah. OG Halloween. Definitely groundbreaking. It's been a favorite horror film. I think we did favorite horror films several months back, actually.
Way back when Fandom Empire was just a podcast before we made the full consistent leap over to YouTube, yep.
And I think I put it in at my number one.
See, I get heat all the time for not having OG Halloween as my number one.
Then I went and saw 2018, and I think I'm still back and forth whether I like 2018 more or I like, the OG film more. Then we got 2. 2 was also great. I had seen 2 prior to that.
There's a couple of different versions of 2 as well. I believe I have a DVD. I bought this one just used secondhand store, and it has both versions on it, and one has considerably more hospital scenes added in. But no, yeah, brush it off. My suggestion would be to watch the Halloween 6 producer's cut before the theatrical cut if I were you. I'd watch them both because they are quite a bit different. And then move on to H2O. That's your best bet. All right, time for Super Chats. Sorry for the delay here. Thanks for Mr. Frank Riker in the chat for letting us know. Again, if anybody wants to send Super Chats in during this, we will get to them. We read all Super Chats, and all your thoughtful donations go right back into the channel. And like I mentioned earlier, we got a little bit of a treat coming for Halloween fans very soon. And not just the ones that subscribe to our Patreon either. I mean, anybody who's subscribed to the channel, we got a treat coming for you soon. Frank Riker, who is your favorite monster in Supernatural? Oh, dude, this is a loaded question. I love Doc Benton, the zombie doctor, but a terrible way to go. You're going to have to refresh my memory here. That's the doctor that, I think it's like this penultimate episode of season 3 where Sam's trying to find a way to save Dean and they just lock him in the casket and bury him. Am I right there, Thomas? I think that sounds right. Frank, maybe let us know in the chat. I think that's who you're talking about. I don't remember the name. I know I've seen Supernatural over and over again 4 or 5 times, but I haven't seen that episode in at least a year or two, and I'm pretty sure that's the doctor you're talking about. The visual effects, the completely natural and what's that buzzword Star Wars fans were using in the sequel trilogy? Practical effects used for that doctor in that episode were creepy. Like, if you're a horror fan and you see this guy in this episode, this episode really does have a horror movie vibe to it. It absolutely does. I think that's the episode Frank's referring to. I don't see anything Frank confirming that in the chat, but again, I think my chat's lagging a bit. So 99% sure that's who Doc Benton is. So Thomas, I pose you the question, or Frank does. Who is your favorite monster in Supernatural?
Monsters are real, like you say, it's a loaded question. What are we talking about? We talking about main villains of one episode? If we are, that's an even tougher question. I would have to think about over some time. If we can include generics,
I was gonna say, if we have some generic looking guys, even though I wasn't a big fan of the season because it killed Bobby. Spoiler alert.
Leviathans.
The concept of the Leviathans and the Winchesters really being knocked on their ass for a while was really cool. But I loved Dick whenever he was on screen. I loved Dick. I will wear a t-shirt that says, I love Dick. Not that that's a problem, because there's nothing wrong with that whatsoever. But Dick from Supernatural was great. I don't know if he qualifies for Frank's question, though.
As far as entire species and such, vamps get on my nerves after so long. Werewolves get on my nerves after so long. one monster I pretty much enjoyed the lore behind for a while. Then they kind of disappear. Don't quite remember why. Are the Hellhounds. Yeah, I definitely enjoyed the Hellhounds, but
Frank messaged me on Messenger because my chat is lagging on YouTube. I'll do my best to pay attention to the chat. So sorry, you got people messaging me over nonsense. Frank's saying that I was buried alive. Frank, I look pretty good for a buried alive guy. I think, anyway. No, I know what he was referring to. Yeah, we were right with Doc Benton there. I think at the... I think, like, again, I don't know if Dick, even though I love Dick, would qualify for Frank's question. Frank says, sure, Dick does. Yeah, well, then Dick's my answer, man. I'd go with Dick. Although, if I had to give another one that's more of like a natural monster, per se, I love Wendigo. Like, literally, we're talking, what was it, the second or third episode ever in Supernatural. And the way that Wendigo is shot, that episode, which, by the way, if you're a Star Wars fan, a very young Alden Ehrenreich, a.k.a. young Han Solo, is in that episode. The way Wendigo's shot, even though it's mostly daylight, feels a lot like Halloween because they're not showing you the monster a whole lot. And, like, so, you know, you're not getting too much of them. And I really like that episode. Do you have one that takes the cake there, Tommy?
Yeah, I was saying Hellhounds, basically. Yeah.
I mean, Hellhounds are cool. I don't know if I classify them as, like, a monster, as more as they're kind of like henchmen.
They're dogs from hell.
They made Dean their chew toy.
They made a lot their chew toy. I forget. Did they kill Ellen and Joe, or was it the explosion that killed them?
I mean, it was an explosion, but let's be honest. They did. They did Joe in pretty good. Joe was basically done because of them.
Yeah.
So, I know there was another super chat in here. Where are we here? Robert Andrew Paul, how's it going, Robbie? I think Dean and Sam live, Cass dies. That's my opinion on the, I'm assuming he's talking Supernatural finale. So he thinks the boys live and Cass dies. What do you think about that, Tommy?
It's the ending that I don't want.
You don't want that ending?
No.
What do you want?
By no means.
Give it to me, baby.
So, what does it mean to die in Supernatural? I'm not going to go off in general because I can do that one as well, but we're not going to do that one here tonight.
It doesn't mean as much as it used to. Like when Dean died,
as much as it used to. Exactly. We've seen characters come back numerous times. Cass being one of them.
I think the thing with this though is if you die and then the show ends, it's kind of just taken that you're dead forever. Although there's strong belief the show's going to come back at some point.
I have mixed feelings about that. As far as Sam and Dean, I wouldn't mind them dying if they... It's hard to say. I used to think I would like Sam and Dean to die and go to heaven. Heaven don't seem like a heavenly place anymore, to be honest. Not for a while in the lore of Supernatural. So...
No, it doesn't.
I don't know what a happy ending is for Sam and Dean Winchester. I really don't anymore.
I think we talked about this a couple episodes ago, but for me, I'm not saying I want any of these, but my prediction on the three most likely endings all have Cass dying. One has the boys coming up to the trunk of the Impala and closing it and saying, we have work to do, a callback to the first episode. One has both of the boys living happily ever after, and the other one has one of the boys dying and the other one living on. So we'll see what happens there, man. the question remains, we don't even know when we're going to see this thing. There's hope for when we're going to see it, but dude, I'm at a point now where I don't think Supernatural's returning in the year 2020. I don't see how it's possible.
I would agree with that. I think it's safe to assume that we will likely see the ending of Supernatural closer to spring 2021.
Hang on, I want to get back to, there was a question really early on in the chat that Art put in that I want to get to. Where is it here? Would you guys consider Supernatural the guy version of Charmed? And what are your thoughts on the Star Wars prequels and Jar Jar Binks? Oh, okay. Well, this is a loaded one. This might take a little bit of time. All right. So for me, I think the number one thing you need to realize with Supernatural is there are more female fans than male fans. And it's not even remotely close. We're talking like a 70 to 80% female fan base with 20 to 30% being males. And there's nothing wrong with that, but that's how the following is. I think people really misunderstand how big of a female fan base Supernatural has. But I think the comparison's warranted. I do. And in terms of the Jar Jar Binks and the Star Wars prequels, Tommy, what do you think of the prequels, dude?
I grew up with the prequels. I love them. I've seen episodes 1 through 3. Well, now sequel trilogy and spin-offs as well. But I saw them all in theaters.
That doesn't tell me what you think of them.
I love them. They're great. I don't mean I think that everything about them is great, but I think they are fine examples of cinema.
This is what I think of them. Oh, look at that poster back there. You can't see it. It's right here. That's an Attack of the Clones poster. I fucking love the prequels. I do. They get harped on a lot. They were never going to be the original trilogy. Expecting them to be the original trilogy was just asinine. I think the prequels tell possibly the best connected Star Wars story there is in the movies. I think it's my second favorite Star Wars trilogy. I love them. Revenge of the Sith is my second favorite Star Wars film.
It doesn't really say much. You think it's your second favorite trilogy?
There's only 3 trilogies, so
2 out of 3?
It's in the middle. It's in the middle of a Star Wars sandwich. Jeez, cut me some slack, man. No, I mean, look, I love Revenge of the Sith. It's, in my opinion, the second best Star Wars film ever made. The fact we never got the 3.5 hour cut of that is unfortunate. However, some would argue with the Clone Wars arc we just got in the Siege of Mandalore, you basically got the cut that George Lucas intended. Because they happen at the same time. You can cut them together. Obviously, one's animated and one's not. I think The Phantom Menace is just disgustingly underrated. I think it's a fantastic film. I think Jake Lloyd took a bunch of unnecessary heat. He was a kid. What did you expect? But there was too much focus on Jar Jar Binks. Absolutely. I think Jar Jar Binks would have been fine as like a background character that popped up here or there. But the focus was far too much on him in that movie. And like George Lucas says it in the making of The Phantom Menace. I think it's called The Beginning. He says this is either going to, make the movie or break the movie. And too much focus on Binks kind of broke the movie. You lower Binks' role in there, and I think it's absolutely wonderful. And there's far more practical effects in The Phantom Menace than people give it credit for. I know people write off the prequel trilogy as being this, CGI fuckfest. But The Phantom Menace has a lot of practical effects and location shooting. Revenge of the Sith basically has no location shooting for the most part, very minimal. And Attack of the Clones has a little bit, but The Phantom Menace, they shot that thing all over the place. So, Tommy, just a final thought here on Jar Jar?
Don't you know he's the real Sith Lord? He's the one with the big plans all behind the scenes.
Oh, right. Jar Jar is Snoke. Jar Jar is Snoke. Oh man.
For real.
If you haven't
Growing
read
up-
the canon novels, which by the way, I don't think are anywhere close to being as good as the Legends novels, but in the new canon novels in the Star Wars Aftermath trilogy, it checks back in with Jar Jar Binks, and basically he's a clown slash jester on Naboo who's just really struggling, and it's almost like he's depressed, and it makes you kind of feel for the character the way it's written in the Aftermath trilogy.
Really? I have yet to read that trilogy.
It's worth the read. It's not
Interesting.
nearly as critical, or it's not nearly as bad as some people make it out to be, but it's not the best Star Wars literature you're ever going to read.
Of course not.
A lot of people don't realize Star Wars literature kept Star Wars alive for some time. All right, guys, we usually do this. Friendly little reminder, 25 of you mother Canuckers watching right now, and I mean that in a good way. Feel free, if you appreciate the content that you're getting right now, drop a like really quick. It helps out all of our videos. And a reminder, if you send in a super chat, we will get to it as soon as we can. And all proceeds go right back into the channel for each and every one of your entertainment pleasures. I don't know if I said that right. Frank Riker sends in another super chat. What one, Sith or Jedi, power would you have? Well, Tommy B, I think you know what I would pick. Tommy and I have played the Old Republic together a few times, and you kind of have to squat up during some of them. And I may or may not be the guy that makes all the evil choices. I'd go Sith. I mean, to me, anyways, it's pretty clear the Sith are more powerful than the Jedi, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's the right choice to make. Tommy B, Sith or Jedi? Which one you going, dude?
I think you misread it.
Let's try this again.
Power. What one Sith or Jedi power would you have?
Oh, okay. I did misread that. Sorry, Frank. My answer sort of stays the same, though. I'm going Force Lightning. Give me some of that lightning. Just going around and
That's
frying
what I
people.
was pretty much thinking was going to come out of you. Yeah, Force Lightning.
What's that supposed to mean? That's what you thought was going to come out of me. How dare you come on here on open mic and judge me to be something less than a kind, loving Canadian?
Oh, you've certainly been testament to the fact that not all Canadians are super kind. Thank you. Isn't that the truth?
You're killing me here, Small. So what's your power going to be, dude? I feel like I'm prying it out of you.
I'd probably stick with something neutral. Can I have push pull all that telekinesis stuff?
That's
together?
what you're
That'd be
gonna
great.
pick? Holy crap! Is that boring?
Can you imagine though how much easier your life would be if you could just do all that?
Tell me you've never walked into a grocery store or a supermarket and done the whole little through the automatic doors and acted like you opened it with the Force. You can't tell me you have never once thought about that. Like, oh yeah, I have the Force. No, nothing. Nothing. You're killing me here, Smalls.
You're really letting on a lot about yourself on this open mic session tonight. You know that?
That's the point. This is what we are here to entertain the viewers. And
You're entertaining me.
it doesn't seem like it. No, I mean, it would be I choose Force Lightning. Frank, you posed the question, man. So we ask you, what one would you choose? Robert Andrew Paul says Force Choke. I could think of a few people that could use a Force Choke. Donald Trump.
What?
Nothing. I didn't say anything. I had,
What?
I had something in my throat.
Oh.
Yeah. Probably shouldn't have said that, but.
Oh, well, yeah.
Toronto Freddy says he was the first like. Todd Fair says, whoa, Halloween 2018 sucked McCrae, dudes. Dave's a friend of the channel, so not sure where you're going with that one. Poppy, I want a female Sith in the new movies to come. Yes, that would be badass if Star Wars and Lucasfilm had the balls to give us a good female villain. And not, hey, here's Captain Phasma in some cool armor and a complete waste of Gwendolyn Christie's natural ability.
Oh, we don't want to go down that road.
Dude. Have you seen... I know you've seen Game of Thrones. I wish this...
I've seen Game of Thrones. Of course I know Gwendolyn Christie. Of course, that was another fuck-up in execution. She was set up to be the Boba Fett of the sequel trilogy, and they kill her off, I guess 3/4 of the way, maybe a little later than that, through The Last Jedi in a rather unceremonious way.
Look, Game of Thrones is awesome. I think it's the best quality television ever produced. Gwendolyn Christie's role in it is awesome. Season 2 on, I believe. But wow, what a waste of talent. It's kind of how I felt about what they did with, Mads Mikkelsen from Hannibal in Rogue One. Yeah, I've come around on Rogue One, how much I like that movie, but what a waste of acting talent. And they do that a lot. They do. Hopefully that stops being a popular trend for them. Poppy says he's psyched for Dune. I've never seen the original Dune. I've seen some shots of the new one coming out. It looks badass. It reminds me of Blade Runner 2049, which I know wasn't well received, but I love it. I think Blade Runner 2049 is the most beautiful looking film made to date in the history of the planet. That's how positive I am about how that movie looks. Wayne Gotkey's in the chat. Wayne, how's it going, man? What are you doing on your Saturday? I want to be a Jedi, but all the powers I want are Sith. Ain't that the truth? It's almost like the Anakin story. He wants to be a Jedi, but the power he needs to save his wife from certain death are Sith powers. I feel the pain. I really honestly do. All right, let's leave the chat for a bit. We will get back to some chat questions in a bit. If you want to interrupt the chat, feel free to send in a super chat. If not, we will get back to your normal questions in just a bit here. Dude, I want to take a couple of minutes now to dive back to Supernatural for a second and talk about some of our favorite episodes. So maybe we'll each give 2 or 3 apiece, but one at a time. So I'm going to go first. One of my favorite, and I'm going to try to not mention my favorite episode because then it's going to spoil it for a countdown video. But for me, one of my favorite episodes anyways of Supernatural is if you go all the way back to the season 4 premiere. It's where we get introduced to Cass. It appears that my video has gone a little bit blurry on me. Apologies. When we get introduced to Cass and what is it, Lazarus Uprising? I think that's what the episode's called. Dean breaking out of the grave, just everything about that episode. The reunion with Sam, the awkward meeting in front of Ruby that Dean doesn't know is Ruby at that time. That episode just had this really uneasy, cryptic feeling to it. What do you think of that episode, man?
Great. Yeah.
Great. Whoa, that's some great feedback there, Tommy B. I'm going to bust your balls all night till you open up more, dude. Give us one of your favorites.
All right, fine then. I'll give you one of my favorites. It was really a love it or hate it for a lot of fans. Most people I've ever talked to have really digged it. It's more recent. I think it was, 2 years ago at this point. Scooby Natural, definitely.
Scooby Natural was amazing. Not to mention, there's so many movies that do marketing wrong. This TV series nailed the marketing for this one particular episode. Like, it's fantastic. It's absolutely fucking phenomenal.
Yeah, the Scooby references and jokes, not they go back in Supernatural. They've been here and there. Basically, Scooby Doo exists in Supernatural canon as a TV show. And I guess while Scooby Doo in and of itself, today varies. People love some of the new stuff they do. People hate some of the new stuff they do. I think they just did a movie recently, and I've been seeing a lot of hate over it. Scooby Natural was executed in such a fan-freaking-tastic way, despite being a filler episode, that I just loved the shit out of it. And I have no problem saying that it would definitely be one of my favorite Supernatural episodes of all time.
They killed that episode. That episode was so fucking good. Absolutely loved it. It's great. I loved it. Wayne Gotke sends in a super chat. Thank you, Wayne. Greatly appreciated, man. Snoke didn't even seem like a Star Wars character. You could have put him in Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings, 300, or Dark Tower story. He would have fit in just as well. I would have to agree with that. I think heading into the movie, everybody was somehow hoping Snoke was going to end up being Darth Plagueis, which is in fact Darth Sidious, a.k.a. Palpatine, a.k.a. the Emperor's Master. They chose not to do it. They even poked fun at it in a San Diego Comic-Con press conference. I remember Lawrence Kasdan going, "Oh, Darth of Vegas," and it's like, "Oh, dude, just stop." And but no, Snoke was poorly capitalized on, and huge missed opportunity. What's your take on Snoke, Tommy B?
That about sums it up. I was never big on Snoke to begin with. Let me start with that. Just down to the name, I thought it was kind of stupid.
And it was a stupid name. It's not a very good name at all.
So when we get to this big menacing figure, he's scary looking, but maybe they could salvage this yet. You know what I'm saying? And so they magically fucking use a supernatural word, gank him.
They ganked
right
him.
Out in the middle of the fucking,
with no clear plan. I mean, there was no clear plan at all. You can be the biggest sequel trilogy supporter, but if you come in here and try to tell us, some of the guys that are in the know-how that covered this really closely for the last half a decade, that there was a plan, you're full of crap. They've already admitted that, we didn't thoroughly plan this out. We let each director come in and sort of do what they wanted to. And that's a mistake. You can't fucking do that and expect to have a connected trilogy. And then obviously, the ball goes back from, the ball went from Abrams to Johnson and then back to Abrams. And Abrams basically tells us Snoke was a clone and Palpatine was using his body. Essentially.
To take a phrase from you, they basically did a good job shitting the bed, if you will.
They did shit the bed with Snoke. In my opinion, again, all film subjective. Don't want to piss off any Snoke lovers. I don't know if the chat is quiet right now or if it's frozen.
It's moving. I've been hanging out in the chat throughout the show.
Yeah, so I don't know what the last thing I see is Toronto Freddy to Courtney Estrada. But Spooky Guy says Scooby Natural was perfect. I loved it. I wish we would have got more of it. Doesn't seem like there's anything even remotely close to that in the plans for the last 7 episodes. Which is unfortunate, but that happens. It does happen. I'm going to refresh my thing here, and hopefully it doesn't lose anything. Maybe it'll help out the feed a bit. Hopefully it didn't stop the feed. All right, that seems to be running a little bit smoother. Tommy B, let's dive back to Supernatural for a second here. We'll go for another 10 or 15 minutes before ending open mic. Everybody get your questions in, by the way. It doesn't matter if it's a super chat. If it's a super chat, great. Helps out the channel. But if it's not, send in any question about anything you want into the chat now. And as long as the bloody chat is working, we're going to start answering all your questions to the best of our ability. Here's another episode that I really like, dude, in Supernatural. And that is, it's been mentioned on this channel a bunch. Changing Channels is fucking hilarious. Where the trickster, a.k.a. Gabriel, is making Sam and Dean go through all the different TV universes. And absolutely, that's one of those, like, for me, if we were doing a top 10 Supernatural episode list, and I think when we do our Supernatural countdown, we're probably going to do, like, top 25 more so than top 10, it's going to be on my list for sure. I love it that much.
Yeah, Gabriel is one of my all-time favorite characters from the show. Hands freaking down. I would even delve into saying best Archangel of the series. Biggest problem of using a MacBook, you keep activating that virtual assistant whenever you want to use the term series. So, yeah, Gabriel, freaking fantastic. I actually recently did a small article writing of sorts for a mythology class about Gabriel and in his role as the trickster. If I can figure out a way to do that in a non-academic, boring way, I might end up doing a rewrite of it for the website at some point. But I definitely feel you. That episode was fantastic. I'm pretty sure, yeah, he was still the trickster by that point. What was that, his second appearance?
Yeah, that's the episode that we find out he's more than just the trickster.
Okay, yeah.
So, but more than his second appearance, dude. Definitely more than his second appearance. That's like his fourth appearance, I think.
Really?
It's at least 3, probably 4.
Huh.
I'm trying to get the live chat to load on my phone to see if it's working any better over there, but... Oh, okay. I see. Here we go. Oh, it's about right. Alrighty. Guys, we got about 10 minutes left in the show. Get those questions in. We'll get to as many of them as we can. All right. Going to scroll back in the chat, find a couple that we might have missed. I seen Toronto Freddy and them talking about Halloween 2018. He said to Todd, definitely an extremely frustrating film because what they got right is great, but the ridiculous creative choices they made are just so stupid. I'm assuming he's referring to Sartain, in which case I would agree. Where are we here? Mike Brown, I love the prequels of Star Wars, much better than Disney's version of it. Jar Jar, I agree, would be better if he was left more as a backside character. Totally agree with you. Eric says Mystery Spot is my all-time favorite episode. Well, Eric, all I'll say is it's going to be on my list, and I love that episode. Mystery Spot is great. All right, please tell me you're not having a hard time thinking of what episode that is. Talking to you, Tommy B.
No, I can't picture what episode that is right this
really?
second.
Groundhog Day episode. Dean dies.
Okay. Yeah, that was another trickster episode.
It was. Yeah. It was.
That is... No, that's not when they find out that he's Gabriel.
No,
that comes later.
Changing Channels is the Gabriel reveal.
Okay. I got mixed up. Gotcha.
The Music and Movie Man came here for Halloween Kills, but now I think I'm going to start Supernatural from the beginning.
Fan-freaking-tastic decision to make. For real. Who cares about what point the series is in its life right now? Supernatural is one of the best sci-fi series ever made. There's a reason it's in...
Season
I don't know
15.
what the hell you would call this at this point. 15 and a half season? Who the hell knows anymore? I I definitely. So when we started doing Supernatural, I'd probably seen bits and pieces of it. Sean here and Johnny are the reasons I started watching it. What would you say, Sean? 3.5 years ago?
It's been a while now, yeah, for sure.
It's been a few years. I got sucked into the universe, and
Tommy got sucked.
At a certain point, I just started burning through seasons.
And it burned.
Mind you, I was probably working 2 jobs at this time, and I was also maybe in school. Yeah, I just kept on going and going and going, and yeah, Supernatural has easily become one of my favorite TV series of all time.
Yeah, if I could encourage anyone in the chat, if you're sitting at home and you're considering starting a TV series, pandemic's still going on, but I know more people are back at work. Give Supernatural a shot, guys. It'll be worth it. If you're a fan of mystery, of ghost stories, of comedy, of even horror.
There's something for everyone.
You got to be patient. You're not going to love every episode, but it also tells a connective story. And yeah, season 1 through 5 is the best because it tells its own story, and then 6 through 15 carries on, same characters, but like you will be just impressed with the chemistry of Jensen Ackles, Jared Padalecki as Sam and Dean. You get, as Tommy said, sucked right in, so succulent, and you love it. You'll love it. Toronto Freddy, Fandom Empire, you ever all watch Bates Motel? Yeah, man. I've seen Bates. It's solid. It's decent. My one issue with Bates Motel is probably the fact that they have quite a few Sons of Anarchy characters pop up in there. And I'm a big Sons of Anarchy fan, and it kind of took me out of it a little. But Bates Motel's solid and worth watching for sure. Where we got Art Wishwood. Oh my God, Bates Motel. I love when Norma said, "Norman, you're acting like a twit. It's not masculine and it's not attractive." Courtney and Toronto Freddy having a great back and forth in the chat. That's awesome. Sam lost his luck and Dean Scared episodes are also great. The Rabbit's Foot. That's hilarious. Great episode. Dean with the pencil. Where I have a pen here. Dean with the pencil is just like, "I'm Batman." And it goes right up the barrel of the gun. Just fucking hilarious. It's such a good episode. Quality entertainment at its finest. All right, guys. We're going to go for maybe 5 more minutes here and wrap it up. So final questions coming.
Sean, I got an episode I want to talk to you about.
Ooh. Is it succulent?
Well, I've seen some people have some mixed opinions about it. I can't name it by name. A Supernatural fan would know which one I'm talking about, though. I think it premiered about 2 years ago. It was the one which, well, for lack of better words, Dean kills Hitler.
It was a good episode. I liked it. It was very enjoyable.
You liked it?
Yeah, the problem is, dude, like Scooby Natural sort of stands on its own. I find the problem with the later seasons is there's not nearly as many memorable episodes. Still solid storytelling, but the memorable episodes are getting fewer and far in between. And I think that's one of the reasons they're deciding to end it. So,
yeah, I think that's fair. I mean, it was such a big deal when they did this whole Scooby Natural thing. They're bringing together this, subculture of the Supernatural franchise, maybe you would say. It's an element that was present in past jokes, and it was great. I would say that one of my all-time favorite episodes that comes to mind is when it's a more recent episode. There's one we can talk about briefly.
What's that?
What was the Wayward Sisters? Was that what?
Oh,
Was
the
that what the
spinoff,
episode
the
title
spinoff
was? Yeah.
episode that the idiots at CW decided wasn't worth taking
Yeah.
because
Yeah. Let's go down that
essentially
road. Was
they
it called
didn't
Wayward
think they
Sisters?
could fucking have an all female centric fucking supernatural
Yeah.
show. Those dog pieces of shit.
Bunch of
I'm talking about the
dipshits.
CW,
Yep,
by
right.
the way, not the female actresses who were fan-fucking-tastic.
Fantastic.
You know, and I can tell you one thing: Jared and Jensen were pissed about that decision too. There was definitely some pushback towards the decision to not give those girls their own show. They deserved it.
I would have jumped all over it. I thought what we got in that episode really set things up nicely. I already had a fondness of all of those characters,
Yeah.
and I think it got stolen from them. I think it really did. Another thing is at the back of my mind, I don't think they're all going to get out of this series alive. What do you think?
No, I don't think they're all going to make it out of the series alive. I think that ship has sailed, sadly, and I think we're going to lose one or two of them. I just hope it's not Jodie. We can't afford to lose. Like, Jodie, to me, is like female Bobby, and if we lose her too, I'm gonna need a few days to not be around anyone. I would be that affected by it, man.
And we're still waiting on, quote unquote, our World Bobby's fate. That's another thing we're waiting for, and I'm getting more and more skeptical if we're going to see it or not.
Right, we're sitting there like, where's our Bobby? Don't make me wrong, I'll take Jim Beaver any way I can get him. Ooh. But we need some resolution there. You can't fucking end the series without any resolution there.
I'm starting to think we're not going to get it.
Dude,
it's going to be so rushed. It's not going to do it.
I'll be the guy that starts a petition. You know me, petition hater. I'll be the guy that starts it. Let's get to the chat here before we wrap things up for this evening. What do we got here? Wayne Gaki, do you guys watch Creepshow the series? I saw one episode. It's all right. Wayne, my man. I've never even heard of it. Maybe you can,
let's find out what this is about. Why the heck not?
Yeah, maybe send us a link to it, or hit up our Instagram or Facebook, or Tommy B's going to search it up and let me know off air what it is. Let's get to the rest of these questions here. Art Wishwood, what do you guys think of that Star Wars intro and Austin Powers, the spy who shagged me? Art, I have not seen Austin Powers in over a decade.
It's been forever for me as well.
Yeah, I would have to go back and watch it. I honestly don't remember. I mean, obviously I remember parts of the movies, and I probably should remember it being a Star Wars fan, but I just don't.
Would you say that it was groovy?
Spooky guy, a Patreon supporter of ours and just a great supporter of the channel. Thanks for everything you do, man. Do you think the H5 mask could have been like H-Kill's mask since they blew up in a mine shaft, and it's Shatner mask, so it's not too far-fetched? You could have dropped an atomic bomb on that thing, and I don't think it would have came out looking like the way it does. I can't give it a pass. I can't. It looks horrendous. I suppose it made the hair grow on it too. I gotta disagree there, man. I have to. Art Wishwood, Creepshow didn't appeal to me. I couldn't get through the episode. I can't even remember what it was about, honestly. Okay. Both H4 and H-Kills are Shatner mask, the latter being a recreation. Is H4 a Shatner mask? I don't believe it is. If it is, it's a horribly gone wrong Shatner mask, that's for sure. I'm gonna have to look into that. If so, that's interesting. Spooky guy. Toronto Freddy, the spooky guy. That mask looks like it came directly from an alien ship. Oh, that's good shit. What do we got here? Mike Brown, the Scooby-Doo episode of Supernatural was indeed spot on, not only as for Supernatural, but brings you back as a kid watching Scooby-Doo shows when you see the gang team up with the Batman, for example. Has anyone seen, like, the pictures that are going around and they've been going around for a while. I think we've posted a few of them where you have Scooby-Doo and the gang teaming up with Loomis to go after Myers. I've seen them. They're fun. They're a lot of fun. They finally catch Michael. Imagine that. They take off his mask, and he's just like, I would have gotten away with it if it wasn't for you damn kids and that dog and that idiot-obsessed doctor. That would have been badass. Art Wishwood, the crazy hair on the H1 mask made it scarier. Nobody ever talks about that. Yeah, valid. Frank Riker, to answer your question, I chose Darth Plagueis' secret to cheating death power. Well, that's just not fair, Frank. I guess he had the ability to cheat it, but in the end, the fucker was killed in his sleep. Of all ways to go, he's killed in his sleep. So, Frank, if you're going to choose that power, the key to living forever is to just not sleep. If you're choosing that power, you're basically sacrificing sleep. Don't do it, Frank. To answer Sean's question, yes, Don Post sent a box full of pink Shatner masks, hence the pink and blonde mask. The artist overpainted it white and did the hair wrong. Yes, it's a badly done Shatner. Wow, I never knew that. Definitely have to do some reading up on that. That's something else. That's something else. All right, guys, just want to let you know what is coming up for us this week, and we have, trust me, a loaded week for you guys. So bear with me here if you haven't heard any of this, bear with me if you have heard this before, but if you haven't, pay attention because we have a loaded week. On Tuesday, we have Jimmy Champagne, and we're doing a debunking the Halloween Kills leaks. 2 videos. He's going to do a live stream with us, and then I'm going to go over onto his channel, and we'll do part 2. We're going to drop a bombshell of sorts during that video. Halloween Kills related, too. And I know the other guy's not in here, but it's Let It Burn, not Let Him Burn. Yeah, I went there again. On Wednesday, Dave McRae, 2 p.m. Eastern, live on Fandom Empire Live. And then next Friday night, this fucker over here, Tommy B, hasn't decided if he's joining us yet or not. We are going to sit down. We're going to have Johnny in studio here, and we're going to watch Halloween 1978 together with each and every one of you. We'll have the chat going through the movie, and it'll be a live movie commentary / watch-along with all you for the first time. And after that, we'll do Halloween 2 and Halloween 4 and 5 and etc. One every 3 or 4 weeks or so. And then, hopefully next week, I can see it's already on the way. I just checked the shipping on it. It seems like we're finally going to get to do those Halloween Kills mask unboxings. It's about fucking time. Wow. Tommy B, man, that's going to do it. That's it for open mic tonight, man. Thanks for joining us. It was fun. Again, we still talked about some Halloween, and we sprinkled in some Star Wars. Again, I think Supernatural took center stage tonight, and I like that.
Yeah, it's great. It's nice to be talk about this franchise a little more. It means the world to you and I. We're desperately waiting for more
Frank.
news. We want it to get the proper ending it deserves, but we got to keep it alive.
Yeah, and we're going to keep it alive for years to come. We have so much Supernatural content planned. We have a Supernatural show planned, and it's going to be a lot of fun. We may have to revisit when we're actually going to start that because I'm getting a little impatient. Big thank you to everybody who sent in a super chat today, supporting the channel on that level. I know some of you guys might get annoyed when I say, hey, you can send in a super chat at some point. Look, it doesn't matter if you send in $10 like Wayne did or $2 like Frank did at the end. Every little bit helps this channel because YouTube takes a cut of it. We turn around and take the money that you donate to us and put it right back into the channel for your viewing pleasure. And big thank you for just tuning in, whether you super chatted or not. Tuning in, clicking the like button, clicking that subscribe button, and just supporting our content on any level you can. We greatly appreciate it, guys. We appreciate each and every one of you. Tommy B, where can everybody find you at, man?
You can catch me hanging around all of our different Facebook groups and pages. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at TommyB1650.
And you can find us, as I finish typing here, trying to multitask. You can find us at the following places. Patreon. You can subscribe to our Patreon today. Head on over www.patreon.com/FandomEmpire. Link is in the description of this video. Again, www.patreon.com/FandomEmpire. You can support us over there for as little as $2 a month or as much as $13 a month. That gets you the Lampkin Lane tier, an exclusive entry to our Lampkin Lane AMA show each and every month, where we're a little more revealing and, go behind the curtain a little bit with what we talk about. We actually just had our first episode this week. It was fantastic. People loved it. Hope to continue that. If you can't support us on a financial level, though, we get it. That's fine. The easiest way to join our growing community, head on over to Facebook, punch in the Fandom Empire Den, and join over there and join the discussion. Check us out on Instagram, FandomEmpireNow, Camp Haddonfield Podcast, and Star Wars Renegades. You can also check us out on Twitter, FandomEmpireNow, and Star Wars Renegades. And also, some of you were asking, when's the next Camp Haddonfield podcast episode coming? It is already out. Check it out on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Anchor, Carrier Pigeon, you name it. And so is the latest episode of the Star Wars Renegades podcast as well. Check them out on all those platforms. Really quickly here before we go off there, I'm going to read one more question because it came in late. Mike Brown, what's sad is the Wayward Sisters would have worked because they brought the characters into the show. They weren't just thrown at us like they did with Ghostbusters 2016, but won't give this one to us. Agree with you totally, Mike. Great way to cap the show. Fuck you, CW. We still want the Wayward Sisters. We still want the Wayward Sisters. Give it to us, damn it. For Tommy B, for everybody else at Fandom Empire, I'm Shawn. We'll see you guys Tuesday. Have a great fucking weekend. Good night.